Hello, this is Sinette Natura Angela, and I am sharing my garden of bees in my backyard, part of my backyard anyway. But I think that it's so fascinating to see how the bees actually live underground, and they make their way out usually around March, April, and up for about maybe 6 to 8 weeks to do their business. And I don't know what that business is, but they look like ant holes, but they are not. I have witnessed and seen bees come from underneath the ground many, many times. I don't know if you all can see. It's very faint right now. They're really, really prominent in the noontime. And also, we've had some rain and a lot of clouds lately. I don't know if you can see that bee right there, but they are actually bees, and they do not sting. I don't know if you can see him. They do not sting unless, you see? Lots of those. Unless we bring a lawnmower or any motor type thing out here to disturb them. They do not sting. So not a lot of cleanup is done back here. Nobody really comes back here that much but me anyway. But they do not sting unless, you know, we're gonna be using some type of motor out here. And it's like a bee farm. And my kids were telling me the other day, there's a lot of activity in the backyard. I was like, oh yeah, quite a bit. I do have a lot of things going on around my house, with nature, that is. And specifically these bees. I shared a story about me and the bees a few months ago. And quite interesting how they have followed me ever since and ended up in my backyard. Anyway, I find that it's just so fascinating how nature is responding, you know, to everything that's going on. And I'll expound upon that in a few. But a lot of activity, a lot of owls are back here, deer, all kinds of things, seen and unseen, that happens back here that I know happens back here. It's really, really fascinating. I should record it in the dark one day, just to experience what does happen. But I love looking at this bee farm that I have back here. It's so fascinating. And some people think that they're ant holes, but they are not. Bees do come up, rise up from the underground, from these little barrels that they have made. Anyway, I just wanted to come forth and share that. I'm going to continue on with the video to talk about a few other things that were on my mind today. Anyway, stay tuned. Hello everyone, welcome to the City of Healing. This is Sinette Natura Angela, continuing the conversation about my garden of bees in my backyard, and basically sending the message to pay attention to nature and the messages that they bring. And I do, and I've noticed, and even the kids have noticed, and it's not just me, that has always been a lot of activity in my backyard, those seen and unseen, but unusually so lately. And my oldest son explained it as it seems like they're gathering and preparing for something. And, you know, of course, I've seen deer in my backyard. I've had bats in my house, birds building nests in my house. Even the other morning early, well, a couple of weeks ago, about 6 o'clock, I go to look in my backyard, and I look to my right, and I was like, oh my goodness, wolves, 2 wolves running away from the house. And I stopped and I said, no, we don't have wolves here. But they were beautiful. They had this beautiful brownish and gray coat and white on the bottom. And I was like, well, maybe that they were deer. Anyway, that's a little side note. I convinced myself they were deer. But what made me not think that they were deer, they weren't galloping and jumping. They were running fast like dogs would run. But anyway, there's a lot of activity around my house and some in my house, but mostly around my house. And it's quite noticeable, but it's not really scary to me. I'm kind of used to it, but it's kind of hard for me. It's kind of hard to scare me, really. I'm not really a scary person. Most people kind of, I think, view me as a little fragile, but I'm really not. I'm not aggressive at all either. I'm a little soft-spoken and reserved, maybe a little shy, but not a really scary person. I don't like to exude that, and nor do I like to promote fear either, because I do feel that we should face our fears if we feel that we have them. But I don't say don't recognize and acknowledge, a fear at hand, and don't pay attention or be on alert for what you feel is your fear. Excuse me. But anyway, digressing a little bit from the activity in the back of my yard, and the real purpose is about the owls. And I shared a story about the owls before, but anyway, just not really focusing on that. But I hear a lot of owls around my home a lot. Specifically more in the fall, because that's more their mating season. But this isn't their mating season, I don't believe. And they have been very, very prominent. I hear them in the morning when I go to bed. If I happen to wake up at 3 o'clock, they're just hooting away. I was like, what is going on? So this morning, I decided just be in meditation and receive and answer, what are these owls trying to tell me? And the answer or the response I felt was that be prepared, something is coming, you're going to be getting a visitor. It's like, a visitor? And what really kind of made me think probably this is so, well, I can't really speak on it right now, but I literally can't. When I try to tell somebody about it, it's like I can't really bring it up. But this, it confirmed what that was anyway. But, it's like, be prepared for a visitor, And I was like, when is this visitor coming? Is it good? Is it bad? Is this supposed to be just for me? Is it for everyone, for my family? What's going on? And the message was just take one day at a time, And it's not this coronavirus per se, because I've mentioned, what I felt about that. And even though, I do work in the medical field, and I definitely stick to protocol and do whatever I'm supposed to do. But, that's a role, that I'm playing, and I'm playing that role really well. But with this coronavirus situation, I kind of analyze it and perceive it as this, is that some of us, or basically we're in a situation that we are in somebody else's reality, somebody else's dream. And this coronavirus has manifested as such. But just because you are in someone else's dream or reality doesn't mean that you have to be asleep. And that's the situation for a lot of us, or people that are aware of what's really going on. And just listening to nature and observing nature and what's going on, they're preparing for something too. What it is, I'm not for certain sure, and I'm not obliged to say as well, but it's nothing that we should fear. Fear, as I've heard before, I'm not sure where I received it from, but fear, false evidence appearing real, And you just have to be prepared for it, be willing to face it, acknowledge it, and just know that we're gonna be fine. And this coronavirus situation is temporary. How long? I don't know. But I'm definitely facing that, of course, head on. And it's a situation, it seems like globally, that we're having to deal with, unfortunately, in somebody else's reality, which is our reality right now in this so-called dream state of coronavirus. But anyway, something else bigger is on the way. Some visitor. I don't know. It should be very interesting to see. I just have to be patient and wait and see. And maybe I'll be able to come forth and share what it is eventually. But the owls definitely have been trying to get me to be on awareness and on the alert, prepared for visitor. Anyway, I just wanted to come forth and share that and remind everyone to pay attention to the signs and signals in nature, because they are definitely there and it's definitely speaking. And as we know, Earth is alive. And I mentioned before, they're not responding really to this coronavirus situation. They're observing, because we do have the free will, and some of us have free will and acknowledgement to manipulate certain things. And unfortunately, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not their judge. They will eventually judge themselves from their own actions, but just paying attention to nature and what it has to say and prepare us for what's to come. Anyway, thanks for visiting the city, and I hope that you all have a beautiful evening. Take care.